After another week, the Kansas City Chiefs stand alone atop the AFC. That's right. Chiefs walk away with the dub and are now 6-1. But we had some new help from an old friend as Mecole Hardman made his triumphant return. We are the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast, and we are here to worship at the house that Swift built. Oh, shit, sorry. I mean the house of Mahomes. With me tonight is the one and only Chief Phil Jordan. Chico is still out this week. I know this is like the fourth week he's been out. He was supposed to only be taking a 3-week hiatus, but congratulations to him and Sarah on the birth of their daughter, which happened last Friday. So yeah, he's been really busy with people in and out and staying up late with that baby, trying to get everything kind of oriented. So hopefully Chico will be back with us next week for the Chiefs Fans Podcast. So
Chico who?
Chico Noise.
Oh, yeah, congratulations, you two.
Forgot that. Speaking of, I forgot to change my name on the thing here. Hold on, I gotta fix that.
Good job, Gunner.
It just says Gunner.
Golden J.
What's been going on? You just got back yesterday as we record this on Tuesday night. You made the trek out to Kansas City, got to see the big game, got to see, and this is what if I'd have known, I might have changed up my games. Dante Hall getting inducted into the Chiefs Ring of Fame. Congratulations to Dante. Yep. I know that both you and me are big fans of his, and we talked about it yesterday. You got an actual chance to meet him and get an autograph. Yep. I just have an autographed jersey that I purchased of Dante, and big fans. And just going back and watching all of his run backs over the years, what was it? Is he hold a record for punt returns for touchdowns like 4 weeks or 5 weeks in a row or something like that?
It was something crazy, insane. Yeah. What was his nickname? The human joystick?
The human joystick. No, baby, he's the X Factor.
Yeah, it was sweet to see it in person. So I won't lie.
Oh, I'm sure. I've been able to see some. I've seen a couple of them, or at least one. I can't remember if there was two in that thing or not. Whether, yeah, the year that yeah.
Which I shook his hand in the tunnel, because we were doing the halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to shake his hand, say hello. He didn't say anything to my dad.
And your dad was pissed.
Yeah, he's like, "What the hell, man?" Oh, I mean, again, it was just random. I didn't know that, that was his time to go into the Ring of Honor, so.
Right.
And then,
I still need to order his book. You can go to his website and order his book. And there's a lot of the old school Kansas City stuff in there. He played when Joe Montana was there, and Marcus, and up through a few years after that. And there's a lot of Joe stories, which, if you know me, I'm a big Joe Montana fan. So I need to order it, because if you order it from his website, you can get it autographed. You get an autographed copy.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, order 2 copies.
If I ever remember to go there and order one.
Yeah, but I tell you what, it was a nice drive down, decent drive back. Karen wanted to sleep in, so we didn't get in till what felt like midnight last night. But
yeah.
So I told Karen Saturday night, it's going to be 71, 72, whatever. And we're in the sun. So I'm in shorts. I'm in shorts, t-shirt and my jersey. Karen's in jeans, sweatshirt, and a jersey. I didn't say a word. You just let them do what they're going to do, And let's just say about halfway through the first quarter, I got to go change. I'm sweating. Well, you have a damn sweatshirt on.
But she just couldn't take the sweatshirt off?
No. It was one of those. That was the main. There was no
t-shirt. Gotcha. There was no t-shirt underneath it.
Yeah. But I was watching her, and I'm just like, I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I know what's gonna happen.
And it happened.
And I was sweating with my T-shirt and jersey on, so I knew she had to be feeling it. And I mean, 71, 72, but we're sitting directly in the sun, So
Yeah, no, you
you
guys are
know,
on that side where this time of year that sun comes beating down right on there. And
yeah,
I think we talked to was it last year? I think we talked to the guy that and I can't remember his name, but the guy that had the tents where it
mm-hmm.
has all the autographs on it. And he said, I think he made that statement too. Is they were like, why are you on the visitor side? He goes, because that's where the sun beats down when the
Yeah,
weather gets cold. He goes, I'm no dummy. I'm going to be right where it's in a warmer spot while I'm at these games. And
yeah, yeah. I mean, but anyway, I tell you what, man, I have never seen so many people. So we got there roughly 3 hours before kickoff, which is in our tolerance range, right?
right,
Normally it's 3.5 hours, but they opened the gates at 11 or 10 instead of 11:30. So I got there, and I had to park in the middle of a row,
oh
which is
yeah,
very unusual because there was a buttload of people there at 3 hours before kickoff. It was packed. I had not seen a line that long to people lined up. Probably, we did our lap around the stadium like we always do.
right,
Dude, the line, to give you an example, you know, on this side of the stadium, as we're walking towards the front,
uh-huh,
it was wrapped all the way around almost to where we met Clark.
really,
And I'm like, what in the hell? People, you got another hour to stand here, number one.
right, right.
But the stadium was packed. That's all I'm getting at. And it was not Swifties, people. It was real fans. It wasn't a bunch of teeny boppers or whatever. There were not a lot of Chargers fans, as expected. I mean, if you look down behind the visitor bench, you'll usually see, like, we'll just say 20 rows, right?
Right.
Of fans. There was maybe 3 or 4 at
Oh,
best. But they did show up. They did rep their team. Kudos to them. But I was just saying, I was really surprised. I mean, if there was an empty seat in that house, I don't know where it was, because
right.
that's how much traffic. Even getting in the gate 3.5 hours ahead of time took us 15 minutes. So it was crazy.
Well,
But we had a good time.
I know I'm waiting to hear back from Eric, which is Bobby's coworker who bought my tickets for that game. He's a Chargers fan, and he was really excited about going. I know that he texted in the middle. He just said, "Man, these are great seats."
Mm-hmm.
He was really appreciative of being able to get those and go, and he's got family out there, so he stayed with family. So,
Oh, very nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I was just saying the atmosphere was pumped. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. It was one of those games where I just think everyone went in knowing we were going to win. So there wasn't even any banter with the Chargers fans.
right. You
they
mean not
they
like
didn't.
you get with the Bengals fans?
Yeah, exactly. Or Raiders or whatever.
Buffalo. Yeah.
I mean, we said hi to a couple of them because we spun this little wheel thing, and it said
All right.
to greet someone from the opposing team. So Karen's like, "Hi, nice to meet you," and I'm like, um. But anyway, great day for a game in Kansas City. The barbecue was good, even though we didn't tailgate for the first time in a long time. We just didn't feel it, man. So
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I think when we go back out in November and we go out there, I thinking I'm gonna skip the tailgate. I'm gonna go up and hang out where they're doing all the because it's a Monday night game. I'm gonna go up and hang out where they're doing all the TV shit and see if I can get my fat ass on TV.
oh no, we're tailgating that game.
Well, you can tailgate all you want. I'm not gonna stop you. I'm heading up to the. I'm gonna go up where all the action's at. I'm gonna go up and hang out with almost Andy Reid and the nuns and the Pope. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Last Monday night that we went to, that's where I met almost Andy Reid, and that's how we got him on the
Yeah,
show. And yeah, I want to get up there because we kind of missed it last time. We kind of missed a lot of the festivities. Everything seemed to go so quickly.
it does. I mean, from the time you get there, next thing you know, the game's almost over, and you're like, "What? Where'd the time go,
Yeah,
man?"
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Unless it's
we even went.
-3
Oh yeah,
and they go into overtime. Yeah.
so I'm already making plans for that. So I'm to probably be throwing that generator in the back of that truck.
There you go.
And boy, we will be nice and toasty pre gaming or tailgating and everything. So really thinking about hoisting that generator in the back of that truck.
When you get it back and get it fixed.
No, well, whether it's that or I have a rental truck.
Oh,
So
right on.
that's what we brought out to the game this weekend.
Nice.
Was
Nice.
a rental truck that had been beaten to hell by people from Enterprise at 56,000 miles, and I'm like, dude, you guys don't keep vehicles with this many miles. We do now since the pandemic. We keep them to 60,000.
Oh,
Needless to say,
you got
I
them
got
close.
it back. Yeah, one. I'm gonna miss this by a digit or two, but it was our entire adventure in Kansas City and the Kansas area was 1,384 miles, give or take a few miles there. The change oil light was on Enterprise. You're welcome. So change the oil on that piece of junk and sell it.
Yeah, get rid of it. It's close enough to sell off. Gosh.
Yeah, and I'll just one last thing at our Airbnb. So across the street, we're looking, and it looked like a house, just your normal subdivision. And Karen and I are watching. There's kids over there, and she's like, "I don't think that's a conventional house. I think it's a business." And I'm like, "No, it's a house." Next day, we're standing out there after the game, having a beer, and I see these red lights go like this. And I'm like, "Well, you don't see that in a house."
True.
A freaking metal detector. People were walking through it, and they're going through these people's clothes and their bags. So I'm out there because it's nice,
Right.
just watching all this, and I'm like, so I had to get out my phone and Google what is near me. It was the Job Corps training place.
Oh, right on.
Where they take youth that are 18 whatever, and and help train them in a skill. So it was kind of cool. I mean, I just saw from the outside what they did, but kudos to everyone that helps those folks, get trained, get a skill set. And it just made me think back to the movie Frasier. I think it was Frasier. He wound up in one of the Job Corps places because he was always getting in trouble, and basically someone stole his brand new tennis shoes. I think it was Frasier. Foreman, or who's the guy with the damn grills?
George Foreman.
It's Foreman. Sorry, it was about Foreman. The movie.
Oh, okay. So Frasier is Kelsey Grammer's TV show that come out of Cheers.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. My brain just got a little scattered.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'm like, cocking my head. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here.
But long story short was, that's the first. I mean, I knew there was Job Corps out there. I just never really put any time into research, and until I watched that movie, and then I realized what that organization does for youth and people in their mid-20s to get them trained for a trait. So
yeah, it gets them kind of set and going in the right in a certain direction so that they can
what
make something out of their life. Yeah, instead of.
I'm just saying kudos to all you guys.
Yeah, good job.
If we happen to stumble across the Indiana Chiefs fans,
you never know. You never know.
But anyway, that's all I got to say on the personal side, and then we can get into the game.
Let's talk about the game a little bit. Let's just hit on a couple of things. I said in my intro, it was a whirlwind week in Kansas City for McCole Hardman. We made the trade for him, got him from the Jets. He's back home where okay, so everybody was like, why would you go back for McCole? Why would you go back for McCole? If I remember correctly, and if Coach Rob is listening, he may chime in on this if he wants to with an email. Yeah. didn't we get McCole? We drafted him, but we drafted him because he was a speedster, and we wanted something on the other side of Tyreek. Because Tyreek was so fast, and with McCole, we were just working for that speed, and he had a lot of speed. If I remember correctly, that was one of the big pros coming out of the draft with him, and it took him a minute to kind of get acclimated. I mean, when you have Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and all them, you're not going to get a ton of work. But and then when Tyreek left last season, McCole just seemed to have kind of a hitch in his giddy up, so to speak. I mean, he still made some big plays, but he wasn't really targeted that much, and it just so when they released him, I kind of understood why. But I think with what they saved in their little piggy bank with MBS, Sky Moore, Rashid Rice, Watson, and all those guys, they had an opportunity to get him back on a budget price.
Mm-hmm.
They know that Mahomes believes in him and trusts him to go up and get the ball. It just seemed like a wise choice. And then him coming back and having that 50-yard punt return and he had, hold on, let me see. He had
one catch for like
6 yards. Yeah, 6 yards.
Yard.
Yeah. He was targeted 3 times. I know one of those times it wasn't his fault. It was a little over his head. There was no way he was going to bring it down, but I don't know about the other one. But
So by the way, with that one catch, he's already exceeded the amount of yards that he did with the Jets. So there's a little banter going on between McCall Hardman and someone on the Jets. He
Really?
just responded to a tweet or something and said,
Huh.
And there was another thing on the same post that I was reading that said, wonder why the Jets never thought about using him as a kick returner.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, I was dying, and I was like, because when I saw him back there, I didn't know they were going to use him as a punt returner, right? I mean, I just hadn't heard anything.
I wondered because when they re-signed him, um, Montgomery who was our punt returner. They released him.
Yeah.
And I wondered what they were going to do, and so I wasn't really surprised when he was back there. I mean,
yeah, and I'll be honest, when he had that kickoff return, man, I was hoping, come on, get the touchdown,
yeah, I would have been.
I mean, think about it, the irony behind that, right?
Oh, it would have been amazing. It would have been great if he was close to breaking it. He was so close.
Yeah, we got the joystick in the house, and he's up there controlling them. Like, yeah, that's me. That's me. That's me.
That's me incarnated, reincarnated.
So that was the main reason I was hoping he would run it in for a touchdown. Yeah. But I'm glad he's back.
I am too. I'm glad he's back, and hopefully we can get more work out of him than 3 targets and 1 reception.
Well, I think he got off the plane on a Thursday.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not arguing that. I totally get it. But did I do that wrong? I might have done that wrong. We may have to change something in the sheets. Anyway, sorry, I was just looking at the stats. What a breakout day for, like I said, McCole coming back, but MBS had an amazing day. Yep. He went 3 for 84.
Who would have thought that?
I would have never thought that, but he had a great day. Rashid Rice went 5 for 60. I mean, come on. I mean, unbelievable. And unbelievable for those 2 guys.
National Tight Ends Day and Kelce just rocked their world.
Travis Kelce I wish I had the stat for the first half. I think he had 124 yards in the first half.
Yeah, it was over 100.
He went 12 for 179 yards on 13 targets.
Yeah, 1 touchdown.
And 1 touchdown. Yep. His longest was
Put something
53.
like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw him do that. And I'm like, oh shit, don't lose the ball. Don't lose the ball.
Yeah. I had to go back and watch that one because I was actually on the road to Gunner's house while the game was going on. It was on my phone, but I was not allowed to watch it while I was driving. So I was listening to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not the ideal way, I think, to carry a ball, but it worked.
Well, it was kind of a flip into him. I'm not quite sure he was prepared to receive that ball, but hey, that's the way Kelsey plays.
Yeah, and according to all these statisticians, Kelsey, without someone in the building, Swifties, was averaging, I think they had like 40 or 44 yards a game. With her in attendance, he's been averaging 99 a game.
Which brings me to another point that I have. Early on in the season, I actually made a comment on the pod that I was concerned that he wouldn't reach his 1,000-yard season. I wanted to keep that streak alive. This would be number 8 or number 9. I'm not exactly sure. Seasons in a row where he's had over 1,000 yards. And Coach Rob,
8.
This would be 8. This would be the 8th year if he gets it this year. Coach Rob texted me and said, Hey, Golden Jay, you realize that if he gets at least 65 per game, he'll reach his 1,000.
Yeah, they're talking right now if he keeps up the average, which includes the game he did not play.
Right.
He will wind up with 1,340 yards.
Right. Exactly.
So,
well, he's sitting at 525 right now. and we're 7 games into the season.
Yeah, so, I think we're, as you would put it, golden.
We're golden, baby. You're so golden.
Yeah, they were talking about that on the AM sports shows in the KC area as we were driving home. So I get to listen to a lot of that. That's why I know it's 1,340, taking the average, including the week he missed.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Arrowhead Addict podcast. So after I finish all the Golden Mojo Entertainment podcast network of podcasts, then I'll go listen to Arrowhead Addict. They're always fun to listen to. They always got their hot takes, and they're like us, man. They will fucking burn you to the ground if you have a bad game, and come back next week and apologize for burning you to the ground. It's quite humorous, but
again, stop giving the ball to McKinnon for 1 yard at a time, people.
There's a lot of talk of why Allaire is still on the active roster when
I think they're using him as trade capital, don't you? Potentially, maybe.
Listen, here's the problem with that. I mean, if they were going to use him as trade capital, he'd have to be producing some. He'd have to be producing something to want people to trade for him. So
you're trying to say we're going to have to pay to get rid of him.
Well, as well as I do, we didn't pick up his 5th year. He's in his final year of his contract. We didn't pick up the 5th year, so I would not be surprised if they just said, "Thank you for your time here. Good luck in the free agent market."
Well, we're already going to pay his salary, so unless we need a spot on the team, he can stay there.
He stay there. I mean, he did have 0 for 0 in receiving with 1 target and 2 for 5 with an average. That doesn't make any sense. He had 2 for 5 yards, but he had 2 for 5 yards, and his longest one was 7, which means that the other one was a negative run.
I think it was minus 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, well, see, it'd probably be the -2 if he was 2.
Yeah, they tried I think they tried like a jet sweep, and they got him in the backfield, obviously.
I think maybe it's time to retire that jet sweep. It's just not doing anything for him on the outside. They're just not getting the blocks that far out, and basically they're just running the length of to the sideline right along the line of scrimmage there, and they might pick up 1 or 2, but
that's to get Clyde back off the field quicker.
They run into the home bench side.
Just take a seat.
Oh,
Uh,
that is fucking mean. That is mean. I don't care how true
uh,
it is. It's still mean.
uh, gave you a good laugh.
It did. Charles Amentu came back. He's
Oh,
been coming
yeah.
off of his six-game suspension from 17 and a half years ago that he actually should have been suspended, and they decided to do it as he comes to Kansas City. So he's back and immediately an impact on the defense. I am not by any means dissing on the defense. The defense was a little slow in the first half, but man, they turned it around in the second.
Yep. Shout out.
They held in the second. There was no point scored. I
No,
think it
shut up.
was. I think it was what interception, punt, 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 and I think that was about, or maybe another interception in there. I know.
Yeah, there was an interception as the last play, I think.
I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that they. Oh, good lord! I need my scores.
So
Scores.
while you're bringing that up, for all the Chargers fans, hey, you can stop complaining that you keep losing one score games. Guess what? You lost by more than one score this time. So,
This is so true. Oh
and for
man.
everybody else that thinks that we paid the refs off with the amount of penalties we got, and I'm going to say there was a couple very, very ticky tack questionable ones that they replayed on the jumbotron, and I'm just like, he didn't touch him, or
Yeah.
the defense was in the neutral zone before the offensive guy. I mean, there was, our check didn't clear. People, I don't know what happened, but for everyone that says that we got refs in our pocket, go back and watch that game and give me a call, because the crowd was, starting to yell bullshit, because it was
Right.
penalty, 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 and I'm like, for the love of God, let them play a game. I think the game was called way too tight, way ticky tacky, stupid penalties. Then penalties they didn't even call on the other side, for that matter. So anyway, I just had to get that out of my
Right
system.
on.
I'm done.
Well, with this loss, the Chargers now drop to 2-4 on the
Eh,
season. I'm so glad that the experts all got together at the beginning of the season and did their tallies and sharpened their pencils and maybe played with each other's balls for all I know. But I'm talking about footballs. I don't know what you were thinking, but
he said
it's
balls.
he said false and decided that the Chargers were going to win the AFC West this year because obviously Kansas City is always in trouble every year and they're just not going to produce. But yeah, Kansas City 6-1. The Raiders are 3-4. The Chargers are 2-4, and the Broncos are 2-5. Seriously, we take out Denver next weekend, we can pretty much go ahead and hoist the AFC West championship banner for
Yeah.
Monday night's Philadelphia game.
So let me tell you, to cap on to the AFC West, we lost week one against Detroit. They played us good.
They did.
They outplayed us because we outplayed ourselves, to be honest.
Hey,
But you know what?
Detroit
But
walked away with the W
no,
at the end of
they
that game. I
deserved
mean, yeah,
they deserved it.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
by all means, congratulations. But at this point, the league leading team is none other than league leading, not conference, not division, Kansas City Chiefs.
Is that because Philadelphia's one loss is in their division, or is it an
Yeah,
AFC loss?
it's
Okay,
got to
because
be
I was
because
looking it over. Philadelphia still just is Philadelphia is 6-1. We're the only two teams at 6-1. And but everything that I read has Kansas City on top of the NFL as the number one team.
yeah, who knows what it is? Hold on, I'll tell you what I think it is.
It's gotta be some little ticky tack type thing.
Division,
Right on.
maybe division, because conference are 4-0, division they're 1-0, and we're 2-0.
Gotcha.
I mean, or it's got to be points fielded, or something really really goofy.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
But the best two teams are there again. Who knows? We might have a repeat of last year's Super Bowl twice this year.
Oh, it
One
could be.
being coming up at Arrowhead, and then one for
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. For all I know, I mean, I don't know what's up with the 49ers. Brock Purdy isn't looking like himself. I know he's missing one or two people, but they're not that hampered. But man, once again, last night they look like poop, for lack of a
Yeah.
better word. But
I was really I was in podcast mode last night. Was actually recording. So um they lost to the Vikings 22-17, really.
yeah, and they, man, I
Mm.
mean, they didn't look good. They looked out of sorts. I mean, they started to get it together, then they fell apart again. Whatever. I mean, everyone picked them again to be the favorites for Super Bowl. They still might be, for all I know. But
Yeah, well,
uh,
once again,
I'll say Philly, man. Philly's playing lights out. They still are.
as we still continue on, the season's still young, and
Yeah.
San Francisco has looked really, really invincible up to this point.
Yeah.
I know
Two
they've lost
games
2 games.
in a
Uh,
row.
is it in a row?
Yeah.
Oh shit. So maybe something's just not right. Maybe that offensive line needs to quit taking Purdy out drinking before the game. I mean, I don't know. Saturday night is
So
not okay for fighting. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. So last week was Brock Purdy's first loss, as a he got
As a
injured,
starter.
as a
Yeah.
starter. It's his first loss because the playoff didn't count against him for some reason. Don't know why, but according to all the pundits, that last week was his first loss and this week was his second. So,
Interesting.
he is a rookie,
Per se. Yeah.
but he's a good rookie.
He's very good. He's a very good quarterback. And I
Well,
wish him.
I guess I take that back. He's not a rookie anymore because he started,
Yeah, yeah,
half of
yeah.
last season. So
Yeah, he had several starts the end
yeah,
of last year before he took that really bad shoulder. Was it a shoulder?
I think so.
Yeah. Got
Man,
hurt.
talk about a fucking shit show, man. At a playoff game, you lose all your quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, holy crap! I mean,
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, it's always good to have a backup, but for a backup, so I mean, if you got a I can't remember, was it McCaffrey or I can't remember who was like the fifth quarterback, it's like a wide receiver or running back or something. He and then played quarterback or whatever. But you did read that if anything goes on with Townsend, Tommy Townsend,
Yep.
that Mahomes is the backup punter.
Yeah, he is. I thought that was hilarious.
do
Did
I
you
re-
see?
do I really want Mahomes out there punting with his ankle and knee the way it is? I don't think so, Andy Reid. Listen to me. This is not going to happen. Justin Reid will be just fine. He can handle both field goal attempts and punt kicks if he need to. So
Yeah, but if you got Mahomes back there as the punter, is he really going to punt or is he going to throw it?
I wondered that myself. Yeah.
So maybe this is just setting the NFL world up for some kind of trickery later down the road.
Hey,
And maybe he can't kick a ball further than 2 damn yards for all we know. Or maybe he can kick it 60 yards, so who knows? But I laughed when I read that. I was like, of all the positions for Mahomes to be a backup player for is a punter.
right.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
badass. I want to see him do it.
Just one time. Just one time. All right, well, let's get into this week's picks, shall we? Let me see if I can get this going on here because I can never quite get it right. Never. Look, see, still not right. Still not right. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Wait. Oh, that's for next Sunday.
I already know the results.
Do you? Oh yeah, you see, I saw him right there. All right, week 7, Sunday, 4:30, Chargers versus Chiefs. That's Eastern time, boys and girls. Don't be fooled by all those Central time crazy bastards. The final score was 31-17. Chico took it with 31-14. I mean,
Nice.
he got 31, and he was only off on 3 points on the other. But man, you and me were close. We're 7-4 and 7-3 different. So I wouldn't know how to score that any other way. But
I'll take that loss any day.
yep, for sure. We get into Patrick Mahomes total yards, 424. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was actually calculating if he could hit 600 and if anybody else had hit 600 in a single game.
Had they?
No. There's only
Okay.
one person who's hit 600 in 4 consecutive quarters, and that's not in one single game. That was like a third and fourth quarter and a first and second quarter of the next game, consecutive quarters, and that was Tom Brady.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Chico takes it with 300. Man, we weren't even fucking close.
Yeah.
I was almost 200 yards off. What the shit? Total touchdowns. Golden Jay and Chico take it with 3 because I do believe he had 4. He had 4 touchdown passes.
Yep.
All right, Travis Kelce, the forever young. I just can't wait to see what his breakup song is. Total yards at 179. Golden Jay takes it with his pick of 110. Chief fell. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go with 87. Total touchdowns. Everybody gets a point because he had 1 touchdown. One touchdown. Receivers. I just gave us a point.
Yeah.
I was wrong. It's actually MVS had the most. Well, Kelce had the most, but he's not a wide receiver. But MVS had 84. Yeah, we all picked Rice. He was number 2 at 60. So I just gave us all a point. Fuck it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just an extra point that doesn't mean a goddamn thing. How many yards was the longest pass play? Longest pass play was to Kelce for 53 yards. So Chief, 51. Congratulations.
I know you were laughing at me last week. 51.
51. Well, average before that was like what?
25, 30.
Yeah, exactly. And now look at this. Interceptions and sacks. We had 2 interceptions and 5 sacks. Do you know how many people walked away with a sack? It wasn't anybody with more than 1. So Dana's got 1, Willie Gay got 1, Karlaftis got 1, Tranquil got 1, Amenihue got 1. Oh shit. Jones did not get 1. Ah, my bad. Oh, let me take that point. Let me take that off.
Oh no, I need that point. Never mind.
You do. Yeah, you'll take that point. You'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
We'll take that off there. Remind me to take it off the score at the end. So yeah, Karlaftis had 1, but Jones didn't. I thought Jones did. My bad. Sorry. This is why I double check all this stuff. I did this at the very last second because I'd forgotten to get it done. Will Butker be perfect for 5 games? Through 5 games. Probably should have been 6 games, right? 6. But is Butker perfect? Butker is still perfect. The guy is clutch, man.
Yeah, he's a machine right now.
Have you seen anything that wasn't down the middle of the goalpost?
No.
There hasn't been
when the wind was swirling.
60-mile-an-hour winds, it doesn't matter. Butker is putting it through. Damn, boy. Was T Swift in the building? Yes, she was. She was up there right next to Brittany Mahomes while they did patty cake and did chest bumps and all that kind of stuff. So yes, we all took a point for that. All right, so I couldn't score this.
No, we gotta leave it as is.
I didn't put it on next week, so we'll have to remind us when we get out to for the Philly game because that's
all right.
You're not going back until Philly either, right?
Correct.
Well,
that's the next home game.
That is the next home game, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, Just didn't have the time, man.
That's all right. You wanted to put that up there, and you didn't even follow through with making to see if it's there. We probably could like Google it and see. I'm sure Rally House, if they had them, is on their front page. All right. Well, let me fix this because that'll take this one down to 6, and that'll take
8.
this one down to 8. And this is why Chico should be doing this because I keep fucking it up. And I'll let him do the talent final scores when he.
Hey, you gotta add a 8 for me.
No, I already added that point. You don't get an extra point.
I was trying, man.
God. Just
I
for that,
like
I'm
it.
taking you down to 3.
Oh my
trying to
gosh,
trying to
that's
cheat
awesome.
points. Trying to cheat points, people.
Hey, if you
Listen,
ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
absolutely. All right. All right. Well, let's get into this week. We are going to be taking or heading down to Denver as the Chiefs take on the Broncos twice in 3 weeks.
Crazy.
A little ridiculous, if you ask me. What do you think the final score is going to be?
42-13.
42-13. I'm going to do thank you. I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to go 31-10. And we'll let Chico get his stuff in there. Mahomes. How many yards is Mahomes gonna throw for? You think he'll have another 400 yard game?
No, but I will go higher than you slightly with a 345.
345.
All that high mountain air. But
how many touchdowns is he gonna have? I'm gonna stick with 3. What do you think?
4.
You gonna have 4?
Gotta have at least 4 for my score to work.
Don't forget, there's always rushing. So
No, I know. That's only 28 points.
All right, Travis Kelce.
11 yards.
He's gonna have 11 yards because Taylor's not gonna be in house.
122.
All right. How many touchdowns is he gonna have?
2.
Gonna have 2. All right. Here we go. Receivers. Who is going to have the most receiving as a wide receiver? As a wide receiver, who's going to have the most yards this week?
Hardman.
You think?
They're going to get him into the system.
All right. How many is going to be the longest?
Go with 43.
43. I'm going to drop you a little bit lower. I'm going to go with 38. All right, here we go. Interceptions to sacks. Think about that defensive line.
No, I know.
Batted balls. Batted balls.
2 interceptions, 4 sacks.
He's going 2 force, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, 2 force of the field.
You know what? I'm going to go with 1 interception, but I think I'm going to go with 3 sacks.
1/3.
1/3. All right, here it is. Who is going to have the most sacks?
I will go this week with. I can't pick Karloftis again.
He got you the win last week.
He did. I'll go with Jones because he's going to be hungry. He didn't get shit this week.
He might be a little upset because, he still got to that's how he's going to make his money because he has to get over 10 sacks.
Yep.
All right, let's see. What is
big max for sacks?
What is this? 7 games?
7, yeah.
Okay. Will Butt be perfect?
Oh.
Absolutely. What do you think?
That's 8 weeks.
Is it 8?
We're 6. Yeah, we're 6-1.
Oh, good point. Sorry. Hey, listen, man. I'm tired. It's been a long night.
Yes.
Yes. Will T Swizzle be in Denver?
No.
I don't think she will either. And there you go. There's our picks for this week. Got all that? I'll tell Chico to jump on here and put his stuff in.
Yeah.
Although he'll cheat. He's gonna go.
Yeah.
He's gonna go
346.
346. Yeah. 41 to 12.
That's all good.
I'm just kidding. You know he won't do that. All right. There you go. So we are heading to Denver. The air is thin, but our defense is playing off the hook. Russell Wilson had a somewhat decent game against us last weekend or a couple weekends ago. I mean, it's not like he had a horrible game, but it's a little closer in score than what we initially thought it would be. We thought we'd just kind of roll over Denver, but hopefully they've got their heads screwed on straight. The offense is looking to put up some serious points and just not and send a message at this point. It's like, quit counting us out, motherfuckers, because we're here and we're winning. So
through that, I mean, that game was one of the worst I'd seen the Chiefs play in a while.
Yeah.
Turnovers, just penalties, missed drop passes. I mean, there was so much in that game that went wrong for the Chiefs, with the exception of the final score.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not that Denver kept themselves in the game per se.
Right.
In my opinion, that we kept them in the game by not executing.
Exactly.
So, and again, a win's a win. It was a close game, one-score game. It shouldn't have been, but I think we're going to see some revenge taking place and some dominance, in my opinion, because the Chiefs had, I think the win against the Chargers was a decent statement game.
Absolutely.
Meaning, you beat someone by 2 scores and then, we shut them out in the second half. I mean, that's a statement right there.
Well, and something else to take away is that the offensive line shut Bosa and Khalil Mack out of that game.
Yeah, which is awesome because they're both really, really good players, as
they
everyone
are.
knows. No knock to that team or to those players, but the offensive line, as you said, good point. We don't talk about them enough. They did a great job.
Absolutely. And then, like I said, with Hardman coming back, Butker going 100%, I mean, everything was clicking. I mean, everything looked like it was working for the most part. There was a couple things, it happens. You can't have a 100% perfect game. But I mean, Mahomes went, 32 for 42 for 424 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he only had 1 sack. He only had 1 sack on him.
The one interception was to McCole Hardman, by the way.
Was it? But
yeah.
Was it a bad throw? I can't remember.
Wasn't enough error, or didn't it? He had to get more on it.
Right on. He was trying to touch it, and it just didn't touch right.
Yeah, McCole had he was ahead of the defender, but I think Mahomes was getting pressured, so he just let it go. I looked at it as a glorified punt, basically.
Right on.
Because I think it went 60 yards or 55 yards. So
that's always a beautiful thing if you throw an interception and clear on the other end of the field.
Yeah, I mean, when that happens, I don't feel quite as, like, oh, fuck,
yeah,
they got to go the entire field. I mean, I think it happened around the 20, 25-yard line. So
right on. What else does Denver have to offer at this point? I mean,
gummies.
Medicinal gummies.
Yeah, they don't call it Mile High Stadium for nothing.
It's always, yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think from looking at that team, I think Sean Payton, right?
Yes,
is just looking at who he wants to keep at this point.
Well, I mean, let's bring up the air quotes. It's a rebuilding year. which it's always been. It's been a rebuilding year for a long time.
Yeah, we know what that means, people. Trust me.
Oh yeah,
we
God,
we
yeah.
we do not say it lightly because we understand exactly what that means.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've been the 2-5 team. We've been the 3-13 at the end of the season team.
Yeah,
You know, it's funny, and I know that Colton just gives us a hard time about, gives me a hard time about being a quote unquote bandwagon fan. But man, I tell you, I have been through some miserable years. And it is not just, I know we kind of bust on Matt Castle and Elvis Gerbach, but I mean, even some of the good quarterbacks we had, I've still had bad seasons.
yeah,
I remember Steve Bono coming in and having a 13-3 season, going into the playoffs with a bye week and losing the first round that they played in that divisional round, and then coming back the next year and just tanking. It was like, what was it, like a 4-12 season or something like that? It was absolutely
yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
And that was the prediction year that the Chiefs were going to go to the Super Bowl. I've got the Sports Illustrated that has Bono and Neil Smith, and you open it up and there's Brett Favre and said, this was a prediction. This is your Super Bowl teams for this year. And I think Green Bay actually went, but
So
Kansas City didn't.
it's funny you say that. I told Jeremy this yesterday, right before halftime. Karen and I always go in so that we beat the rush by a minute or two.
Right.
Well, I see this guy, very large person, come out of the suite. Didn't really pay attention, because there's a million people running around the club level.
Right.
And then I kind of went like this, and I'm like, oh. And I turn back around, and I was like, man, he looks so familiar. And I hear him talking to the handler, we'll call him.
Right.
He's like, you mean we got to go all the way to the other side of this stadium with all these people? We came out at the wrong time. And I look back kind of just real fast again, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Neil Smith. So me being me, I want a picture. I'm not going to interrupt him,
Right.
Just let him do what he wants to do with the handler. And so I'm feeding it down, and I see, okay, I'm by the doors. I can see him. There's no one in my way. I go to take the photo, and my iPhone's set up for live. So by the time it takes a photo, all you see is like this, like one piece of the eyeball and a sliver down the side. That you have no clue who this person ever was. But I did get to see him. He was right behind me. It was kind of cool. And he was not happy with having to try to get somewhere at halftime, which
I'm sure. Yeah.
Which is not the right time at Arrowhead to try to get anywhere in any concourse at any level.
I would think that he would know that.
No, the handler's the one that manages the schedule, not him. The problem is when you get into these booths, these suites, so many people want to talk to you, shake your hand, take your picture. Next thing you know, you're late,
Yeah. So I understand that. I have that problem all the time. Every time I go to Meyer. I mean, I'm good. I'm in Meyer for 2-3 hours, stopping, talking, shaking hands, taking pictures, signing autographs.
Normally you get paid for that. It's known as the greeter. Just heads up. You're doing it for free.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm doing it for free. And they told me I can't stand up there anymore.
So the last part that I wanted to throw in for T-Swizzle.
Oh, T-Swift.
The pictures are real. They did go to Kelsey's mansion. They did have a party. They did have it catered by Fiona's Jack Stack.
Oh my God.
And man, I wish I was there. I mean, come on, Kelsey. I thought you were gonna call me, but yeah.
I don't know. Last time I talked to him, he said he'd been listening to the pod and he really enjoys it. I mean, you would think that we would get an invite.
Yeah, but kudos to, everybody. He's got a private life. Let him live it.
Absolutely.
People don't. I mean, yeah, it's cool. Taylor Swift's at the game. Ooh. To me, it's just another person. Yeah, she's just another person as well. I know she makes, $780 million a year or whatever. That's what's on her bankroll. But
I wonder if she could just spare an extra $1 million for me,
or actually 580, something like that. I saw it today, but Man, kudos to them. Let them have some
Absolutely.
fun.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you got it. I mean, come on. If you've seen Travis Kelsey, wouldn't you be like, Taylor Swift, high five?
I thought it was pretty cool. The other story that they had about him where he pushed the security guard out of the way.
Oh
No,
yeah. Like I
no,
said,
he just told the guard, he's like, dude, no one's gonna fuck with me in Kansas City,
right.
right? I'm the man, and I'm gonna be the man for her. So
Yeah.
I got it. Being what's that? I can't say that word right now. Chivalry is not dead.
Chivalry. Yeah.
So Kelsey just wants to hang out and be the man. He doesn't want some security guard that he could probably beat the hell out of with one punch. Calling the shots. I think he was just kind of like, yo, hey, I got this.
No worries. No worries. I got this.
I mean, come on, you're in Kansas City.
Uh-huh.
What, 3 games ago, whatever it was, when they went out in that Chevelle or whatever convertible.
Oh, the
Chevelle.
convertible. Yeah.
I mean, he's like, whatever, man. No one's gonna mess with me. I'm Travis Kelsey. I'm basically the pop star of Kansas City. And then my last little piece, because Karen wanted to sleep in on Monday, people.
Jeez.
I did not want to leave the Airbnb at 11. I wanted to leave at like 8:30, between 8:30 and 9:30, which would have worked out pretty much perfect. Because we would have been having breakfast next to Sneed.
Yep. Legarius Sneed was at the Big Biscuit in Kansas City, and they missed him by what, 10 minutes?
Not Kansas City, Excelsior Springs.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, we missed him by 10 minutes, and I was like, son of a bitch.
And you're going to rub that in every day for a long time, right?
Yeah, I could still smell the sweet smell of a victory in that booth next to me. which was him devouring a biscuit, probably.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, I had that for my breakfast this morning at 10. It was awesome.
Yeah, so if you're out in Kansas City or heading to Kansas City, go have breakfast at the Big Biscuit. You will not be disappointed.
No,
you might have to wait. You might have to wait a couple minutes. I mean, we've had 45-minute waits and we've got in right down and sat down, but we've had it both ways. But you order their biscuits and gravy, you will not be disappointed whatsoever. They're absolutely delicious.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy, I'm gonna let you know one thing. When we went there at 11, there was no fucking wait.
I think the last time we were there, when we went to that one, there was no waiting. There was no waiting there either.
And our waitress was awesome. She gave us 3 things of gravy to take home, 3 extra biscuits. I mean, she hooked us up.
It's like an extra order.
Oh, it was. And I tipped her well. So
good.
And that's what I said. We gave Bobby some, and she's like, this is awesome.
She's never had it before?
No.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, that's my other stories I wanted to get to for the weekend. Getting Karen out of bed so I can get home before 9:45 at night.
Right.
Central time.
Not Eastern. That's Central.
So, but anyway, it was cool. Great weekend, great people. Arrowhead, I love you, and I love me some Chiefs.
Arrowhead's pretty great. I just had to hold a baby for a couple days this weekend, so super excited.
So you going by Grandpa, Papa, Mima? What
yeah, I'm just Grandpa. I'm Grandpa with Sora and Aspen, and I'll probably just stay Grandpa with Sophia. So I mean, if she decides she wants to call me something else, then that's fine too. But I'll just go by Grandpa. It's just easier.
See, Karen changed it up for Bobby's kids. I'm Grandpa to every other kid that we have,
and
except for some reason when Valerie started speaking, she was like, Papa. I'm like, no, Grandpa. And she's like, no, you're gonna be Papa now. I'm like, oh, for the love of gosh. So
yeah, with Aspen and Sora, they have a couple sets of grandparents on their mom's side, plus the great grandparents, and they all have their specific names. They're I don't know, Gigi's and pop-ups and
Just
it's
keep it easy,
I
man.
I can't tell you which one's which. I know who Gigi is, obviously, but I can't keep them straight, honestly. And so I just when they started calling me grandpa, and I'm like, okay, I'm perfectly okay with that. So
Well, I tried. I lost that battle. So
like I said, if Soap decides she wants to call me something different when she can speak, then so be it. I don't have a problem with that either. So, but
now,
that's a ways away. We're not look at a couple of years on that deal.
but we did add another Chiefs fan to the
We
Chiefs
did.
Kingdom, I believe.
Did we talk about this? I know we have talked about this, but so on Super Bowl Sunday this last year, Kansas City playing the Philadelphia Eagles. I get up in the morning, find out that I won the Juju Smith-Schuster helmet, which you can see right above my head. Won that. At halftime during the game, I was handed this, and it says new ticket member 2023, and she's finally here. I sat there during the game and held her, which I actually was. That's breaking my own rule because I had told myself I was not going to hold her during a Chiefs game because you know I get.
Airborne.
I said Sarah asked me, she says, "Why is that?" Because I don't want to spike. I don't want to spike her like Skylar did to Aspen when he was watching Seattle. But we were sitting there on the couch. I was nice and calm. And I was talking to her. I said, look, honey, there's Arrowhead Stadium. Grandpa's going to take you there. You're going to go to a game with me. We're going to leave Grandma at home. It's just going to be you and me. I said, that's Patrick Mahomes, you know, and I talked to her the whole time through the game, explaining to her who everybody was. So
there's one error in your logic, though.
What's that?
You bring Bobby so that you can go chill out after the game. You go like this. Here you go.
There you go. I'd be coming back from the game. She'd be still at the Airbnb.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We'd be like, here you go. I'm done. No, that's cool.
Let me see if I can show this to you. Here, hold on real quick.
I know you're really happy, and I know Sarah and Gunnar are happy. The whole family's happy.
Can you see that? There she is in her little KC outfit. That's what she wore during the game.
Ah, cool. That's badass.
I love it. So yeah, it was a good weekend. Not quite as busy as yours, but busy enough.
Yeah, freaking I have spent today. But anyway, I had a great time. I don't care.
Right on. All right now. All right, man, let's get out of here.
All right.
I want to thank you guys for listening to Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. I hope that we bring you knowledge and insights that you could never, ever think of on your own. Which I'm pretty sure 100% was what's going on here. We enjoy doing it, so we hope you enjoy listening to it. So, all right, from our little slice of Chiefs Kingdom right here in the great state of Indiana, I just got one question for you. How about those Chiefs? Later.
Thank you for listening to the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Podbean, any of your favorite podcast sites. Be sure to watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. Also, check us out on Facebook for any updates on the Chiefs and all of our weekly posts. You can find us at facebook.com/INChiefsFansPod. Finally, go check out our Golden Mojo Entertainment website at goldenmojoent.com. You can find information about your 3 favorite hosts and all the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment family. Those podcasts include The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, The United States of Paranormal, The Golden 80s Podcast, The Murdnerds, and A Court of Books and Booze. Thank you for tuning in, and how about those Chiefs?